joint Balikatan exercises with the Philippines and a few days in Singapore, USS John C Stennis is now off the coast of Malaysia. And to give us more of an insight on the vessel itself, I have here with me Patrick.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, so Patrick, what is most interesting about this aircraft carrier?
This aircraft carrier is, the sheer size is part of it. She's a 1,092 feet long vessel. It's a roughly 3 American football fields from end to end.
That's crazy. I also read that it's 26 stories in height.
I've seen it when it was in dry dock, and it feels almost unnatural to be under something that large.
Now the journey began with a briefing at Subang Airport's DV terminal before taking off on a US Navy C-2 Greyhound plane. The flight crew told the group, comprising a 22-visitor delegation, that we were quite lucky, as in a few years the Navy would cease using these twin-engine aircraft, which were first manufactured in the 1960s. We arrived in the South China Sea an hour later, 220 kilometers off Malaysia's east coast, thanks to a pretty intense arrested landing, which isn't for the faint-hearted. The plane goes from about 260 kilometers per hour to an abrupt stop within 100 meters.
That if you miss the wire, you're going to go swimming if you don't have enough airspeed. There are 4 wires on the deck. They're aiming for the 3rd one.
Named after a former U.S. Senator, Stennis is the epitome of a megastructure. The size of a self-supporting small city, it can accommodate up to 6,000 sailors and Marines at a time.
We have 5 dining facilities on board, 5 restaurants. We make over 18,000 meals a day. Again, because we're serving 5,100 people every day, and they want to eat more than once a day. It's surprising. We are designed to operate for 7, 8, 9 months away from home, and we must be self-sufficient.
Following deployment from Stennis' home port of Bremerton in Washington, the nuclear-powered Nimitz-class aircraft carrier is currently flanked by 2 destroyers, a cruiser, and a replenishment oiler.
5 of my ships are with me here as I deploy. 8 squadrons are mostly F-18s and helos and an E-2 that provides command and control. All total, we have about 8,900 people in the group. The group left on a regularly scheduled deployment as part of the Great Green Fleet on January the 15th of this year. So we've been out about 103 days now.
We do out here complex flight operations on an aircraft carrier anywhere in the world, 365 days a year. Is definitely the greatest show on earth. So if you look at what's going on right now, we're setting up for another launch. The aircraft that are off the Ouija board over here on this side are all flying a mission right now.
Stennis, which has a total of 65 aircraft on board, has been conducting patrols in the South China Sea. During its patrols through the disputed resource-rich sea, the vessel had previously been followed by Chinese warships.
So at this time, we don't have any Chinese ships in our vicinity, but we expect as we travel further north that we'll probably see some Chinese ships again. So most of our deployment, we've had a Chinese ship kind of traveling around in our vicinity. And so we will communicate with any Chinese ships that are following us just to tell them which way we're turning and how fast we're going.
China claims most of the South China Sea, but has vehemently rubbish allegations it's militarizing the region, pointing to Stennis' patrols as evidence the U.S. is to blame for increased tensions. At this point in time, the strike group is still in the South China Sea. But following China's refusal for the Hong Kong port call, there's still no word on the vessel's next destination. Natasha Hussain for 7 Edition.